Revival TV.
Good evening once again, dear debaters and viewers that are out there. We really are so much proud of you that you can take your time still and be here with us, that we have run from morning up to this time. And I'm so proud of you that you've not given up on us, and we are here. Now, getting back to us, of course, when I am back, you know that we are getting back to another heated kind of session. This is not any other session, but we're getting to the finals of the public speech and poetry. This is a series of rounds. We've had a series of rounds from morning, probably from yesterday, and we had poets that were in the senior category, and also the same applied to public speech. And so I will come lead judge David, that is going to tell us who has managed to make it to the final. Of course, coming from 6, that is public speech, from 15 to 9, and now we have the final members or students that are getting to the final. As far as poetry is concerned, we've had 11, now go to 9. We have the final students or competitors that are going to tussle it out in the final of this year's National Debate Championship here at Ntale School, organized by Teachers Debate Network. Without wasting any other time, let me welcome the man of the truth, because it is the man that has decided who breaks. Not him alone, but the entire team decides who to the final. And with this, it breaks down the pressure all of us have had from the start. And all the people that were in the semi-final are all waiting to know who has made it to the final. David, please step forward and give us the truth, not anything else but the truth on who gets to the final of this year's tournament.
All right, thank you very much, Adonia. Before I go ahead to make anything, one, I would request for our utmost attention. Again, it's not mandatory for you to be in the hall here, but it would be a very good learning experience if you are. So if you're planning to make noise, please do not interrupt us at any one particular point. Now, the finals task is for poetry, Mother's Hands. Perform a poem from the perspective of a parent finding their child overdosed. Focus on sensory details, cold skin, the rattle of breath, the weight of empty promises. That is the task for the finals, the finalists. The two individuals that made it direct to the finals from the preliminary rounds are, one, we have Mercy from Weranyanji Girls School, made it direct to the finals from the preliminary. Where is Mercy? Number 2, we had Muhindo Latisha from St. Teresa Girls School. Where is Latisha? Where is Latisha? Where is Latisha? Now, breaking from the semi-finals to the finals, poetry, in a very particular order, we have, with an average of 72, in position 3, we have Nabasa Rebecca from Bijera Senior Secondary School. Where is Rebecca? Where is Rebecca? In second position from the semi-finals, breaking direct to the finals, is none other than Amwesiga Baron, Nganwa High School. Where is Baron? Yes. Before the tournament started, I saw him, he was smartly dressed. I told him, you come smartly dressed, but will you make it to the finals? He has made it to the finals. Congratulations, Baron. I think you remember this tournament all your life. Breaking in first position, so the remaining 3. All of you were male, so it is the man breaking. That is none other than Wesonga Melchizedek from St. Andrew's Seed, SS. Where is Melchizedek? All right. This is the order of our poems. We will have Rebecca, Baron, Wensonga, and then we will have Latisha. Where's Latisha? And then we'll have Mercy. Should I announce the public speakers? Should I announce the public speakers? Let us have the finals of poetry. Public speakers will come in later on. Over to you, my good sir.
Thank you so much, David. And that is the moment of truth. And congratulations to those that have managed to make it to the final of this year's poetry competitions at this very inaugural competition at Ntale School. And we are glad that you never know, you can be the first ever winner of that very important tournament or competition. And of course, I will directly, without wasting any more time, run to the judges that are already preparing, putting notes together, papers here and there, pens ready, that they can listen to these great poets. I will hand over to the judge, the lead judge, of course, David, that is experienced with a lot of tournaments he has judged. He has become a poet, the best of this country's poets that we have, and he will take us through that session until we wait for public speech. David, you're welcome.
Before I continue to make any other announcement, I would request every other person that is making noise, having a conversation, let us please stop. There's that group over there. They are into a heated argument or conversation. We can take the conversation outside. We are starting our finals. Please, let us have the first speaker. Please tell us your name, your school, and any other thing in just 10 seconds, and start whenever you're ready. It's not a must to use all the 4 minutes, but please don't use beyond 4 minutes. Whenever you're ready, we are ready for you. Rebecca.
Hello everyone, my name is Nabasa Rebecca from Bijera Secondary School, Ibanda. I first shout out to my patron from Bijera Secondary School and to our head teacher who sponsored us to these TDN debate competitions, and also to my friends who have encouraged me to push through this. I thank you all of you. Now to my poem. It is entitled Mother's Hands. In the stillness of a midnight hour, a silence thick as fog it towers. I tried the whole with heart in throat, each step a whisper, each breath a note. The door ajar, a silver of dread, a shadowed figure on the bed, pale skin stretched over a fragile bone, a lifeless film that feels like a stone. I reach for you with trembling grace, fingers brushed against your face, cold as winter's bitter breath, a chilling touch that speaks of death. Your lips are blue, your eyes closed tight. The rattle of breath, a ghostly fight, each gasp a promise once held dear. Now echoes lost in the void of fear. one child of mine, where did you go? Into the depth where shadows grow. I remember laughter, dreams we span. Now empty promises wait atone. The weight of hope now dropped in sorrow. What future lies beyond tomorrow? I cradle your hand so small and frail. A mother's love caught in this well. The room is heavy with unspoken words. Memories flutter like frightened birds. I see you smile in the fading light, a flicker dimmed by long dark. Once vibrant dreams now tangled and torn, innocence lost and hearts fallen. I whisper softly through tears. They fall. Come back to me. I will catch your call, but silence answers my desperate plea. An empty room where you used to be, and I hold your hand as time stands still, a mother's heart shattered against its will. So here I stand in this haunting place, with love entwined in an endless embrace. Through shadows linger and darkness may long, my heart will carry you beyond this room. In every heartbeat and tear I shed, you will forever, though cold in your bed. For even in loss where hope seems banned, you will always be held by mother's hand.
All right. It seems the finals are getting hot. People want to win. All right. Thank you very much, Rebecca. Let us go over to Baron, the smart man. Baron, over to you, Baron.
My name is Amwesiga Baron, Nganwa High School. I begin my poem. In the still of the night, the mother's heart starts beat faster. She finds her child. And this child is just, and the mother lost hope. She's hopeless. She's filled with the silence. She finds the child. She's just there, and just a devaluation life. Just with drug addiction. So drunk that she can't tell. She kneels down. She kneels down. And this lifeless of her child begins. And the screen doors of the tears start to draw by his cheeks. As like the flowing river in the darkness. The skin is pale. Oh, the son and the daughter is tipsy, truly drunk. And the roaring voice, her words and her hand trembles. They touch by the wound of the child. But she now reveals that now the world is turned upside down. The weight of the empty promises. The dream has never come. And the promises that was once a reality, now it is a gone case. Now it is a promise. It is no more the dreams that are once in reality, but no more. For the dreams that die in the time that they were not called. She whispers, and comfort is filled. She knows it is too late because all was by her. She now reveals that her love a nuisance one, for she couldn't portray what she could, and her child just a vanished nuisance creature in a disgusting rhyme. A call calls once again. She cries loud again and again, but though disappointed, she bears the curse, for she made it happen. She made it happen. The child now a gone case, but still she holds hope. She supports the man. But the dream that could come is now a normal thing, and she holds her child back and protects him and gives her shield for the love that never ends.
Thank you very much. People really do want to win. Let us have Wesonga Melchizedek. But as long as he closes it. So it seems Wesonga is coming out from a very unusual position. Let us see what he has. Afterwards, you close the door, okay, because of the lighting. Okay.
Good evening to you all. I'm Wesonga Melchizedek from St. Andrew's Seed, Mokono, and I'm here to act out our play titled The Mother's Hand. But before that, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the TDN organization for organizing such a tournament for such kids to expose and explore our talents and our skills as we are learning from each other. My poem begins in 1, 2, 3. Mother's hand. My hands used to carry you when you were little. Hold you close, wash your tiny feet as you from just playing from the dust. You were full of warmth. You were full of life, full of dreams. But today, my hands touch your body, cold like water left in a basin overnight. Your skin no longer soft, now stiff, quiet and scared. Your lips once smiling and full of words, and now dry and purple. No hi mama, no I'm hungry, just silence. Your chest raises slowly, then stops, then starts again with a sound, a strange, slow rattle, like someone dragging a broken jerry can. I shake you, wake up my child, please, but you don't move, you don't open your eyes. Then I see the paper in your hands, crippled, shaking. I open it just for words. Sorry, Mom. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm the one who's tired. I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of praying for you. I'm tired of hearing the lies. The lies that say that it was just once, Mom. I've stopped, Mom. I saw the signs, the late nights, the smell of smoke, the new friends with old eyes. I want you. I really want you, my child. But you kept going back to that powder, that death wrapped in small bags. And now here we are. You're lying down, me standing over you with hands that don't know what to do. My hands don't know what to do. These hands weren't clapped when you first said your first word. Hold your head when you were sick. These hands bladed your hair. Now they pass. They press your chest, trying to find the life that you lost. But you are heavy, my child. Your body is heavy. Your promise, your silence, your pain. It always on me now. It always on me now. And my hands, strong, loving, tired hands, can't fix this. They can't fix this. They can't pull you back from where you are. They have never felt so useless. Thank you.
All right, before you leave the stage, please put back the podium where it is supposed to be. Oh, it's okay. Adonia is going to help you do that. The pressure is getting. The pressure is getting. People want to win. Winning feels nice. Ask Adonia. Winning feels nice. All right, let us welcome Letitia from St. Teresa Girls School.
Thank you. My name is Muhindo Latisha Consolate from St. Teresa Girls in Kasese. I thank our head teacher who offered to sponsor us to come for this tournament, and my patron who still gave us company, and my fellows whom we came with, and the friends I've made around. Allow me begin my poem. A mother's hand. Dawn comes after night. A thought flickers into my mind. I recall a toddler of mine who is now a big boy. Oh, it's already morning. I go to his dad to know how is he. Son, son, son. No one comes to open the door. I linger towards his room, all in depression. All I see is a well with water flowing out of it, a body lying on the ground like a helpless human. At the touch of his body, a bottle rolls onto the door. My heart burns inside me. All the dreams I had in him, all the hopes I had in him, every trust I had in him dies at that very moment. A son of mine, I grew with me, with love, with care, lets me down. Addiction has become his friend. All he can do is only trusting in a bottle. A bottle has only become a friend of his. All I see is a lying son of mine. All I see is a lying body of my own loving son. Every dream I had in him, every trust I had in him, every hope I had in him dies at that very moment. All I could ask myself is, who is responsible? Am I? Is he? Who? We? My heart burns down within me, my thoughts die within me, my hopes die within me. A lovely son I had has now become what do I see? All I could do is only hold him on my laps and take the motherly love with me. But even after he killed all the dreams I had in him, all the hopes I had in him, all the trust I had in him, I still held him on my laps. I still held him on my laps. To hold him strong, to give him hope, to give him all the strength he could need. Me as a mother, I could bear giving him motherly love, though I couldn't bear seeing everything being tarnished. But I still loved my son.
Sing. But I still loved my son. Okay. But do the judges love the poem? Is the question. Next is, last but not least, Mercy. Please come on stage, deliver. Yeah.
My name is Okuyangabire Masi. My name is Okuyangabire Masi, a student at Baranganji Girls Senior Secondary School. The poem is entitled Mother's Hands. In the sterile hush of twilight's wave, the scent of bleach, sharp in the air, mixes with the sweetness of childhood despair. Soft toys gather around in corners of dread. Draped silence over the laughter once spread. Lifeless and cold, their innocence fades. In rooms once alive, now ghostly charades. The door swings open, the world slow to gray. Each breath a struggle as hope slides away. A heart once vibrant, now underneath stone. Crushed by the weight of love overthrown. Familiar echoes of laughter now haunt. A melody twisted by nightmares that taunt. The sirens sing softly a lullaby of grief. Whispers of chaos seeking belief. In haze of red, like a faded sunset, a child lies still, asleep in regret. Pills, bottles, scattered like fallen leaves. Promises broken, still wrenching sheaths. I reach out, trembling my fingers to brush his hair. tangled memories scattered. The weight they bear, my sweet little one, I can croak. As shadows wrap around me, a sorrow bespoke. In the echo of loss, a cry of reprieve. As the door closes softly, what can I believe? Fingers clutched tightly to what can be held. A heart left behind, forever repelled. Thank you.
All right, please give our poets, finalists, a bigger round of applause. At this point, the judges will go to deliberate, and by exactly 6, we'll start the finals for public speaking. Over to you, Adonia. Keep them engaged until we're back. Thank you.
Thank you so much, David and the team of very experienced judges that have seen us through this round. I don't know how thoughtful people are. I think I'm getting to learn new things and new tricks of making people get emotional, of telling my stories. I've just seen a lot of creativity. We applaud those that were here giving us their stories, giving us their poems. Very highly regard the nature of creativity that we've seen here. And indeed, it is hard for the judges to tell who will win. I don't know whether people out here already see who has won, but on my end, it is really hard to tell who can win this final because it has been cream de la cream. And I believe that, yes, they were indeed finalists that are worth competing at the finals. Not just the finals, but a national debate championship where we have poetry, where we have public speech, we have seen news anchors, we have seen storytellers, and now we await, of course, tomorrow, the big day, where we shall be having finals of debate, both junior and senior, very early in the morning. Better wake up to your screen, better wake up and come to this place where we shall have these finals. You cannot wait to miss the junior finals. Junior, these are primary schools that are brought, maybe have run from scratch up to the final round, and also the senior round of debate. These are in secondary rounds where we have seen 50 plus teams, and finally tomorrow we are going to see who qualifies to, of course, sit on these very big tables to debate the final, where we are having a lot of prizes. Trophies are already here, and who takes it home? Does it remain here, or indeed it crosses regions and goes elsewhere? And it is a question that can only be answered tomorrow. I cannot have a right answer for you, trust me. So ladies and gentlemen, before judges get back, I see their minutes are running. Before judges get back, I will take a few things. Before, later on in the afternoon, I said that the environment or the nature of the atmosphere here at this institution is starting to change, where in the first days, yesterday and the other days, people were seriously in uniform, looking very smart, making sure that they are easily identified. But as teams continue to reduce in number of competition, of course, people go into luxury, and now you can hardly meet people in uniform. Trust me, there will be like 4 schools because they are here at the final, and we are seeing who is going to make it. If I could get a few representatives of having a feel of, yes, the tournament is coming to an end, but how do you feel that the tournament has come to an end? I will take a look at different people. If Onesmus would help me, I take maybe ask a few a little ones. There's a small storyteller, if she could come forward and tell us how this tournament was. Yes, a young lady, do you mind coming forward? She told us a very wonderful story. Do you mind coming forward? And of course, she told us that it is her passion, storytelling. But now we shall ask her very many questions. Not only, okay, let us give her a bit of a hijack for her to tell us her most interesting story that has ever caught her mind. And we see if indeed she was worth this whole competition to be at a final, because indeed she was at a final. How are you doing once again?
I am okay.
I'm going to give you 1 minute. You tell us the most interesting story that you've ever read or heard from your grandmother, because you told us that you get stories from your grandmother, and you shall really give us that story this evening in just 1 minute.
When I was with my grandmother, we were seated in the kitchen, and I asked her that, tell me one story since we were young. And he told me that when she was young, they built a hut in the forest, and in that forest there were buffaloes, and they never had a road to pass when they were going to the markets and other places. And as the buffaloes were passing there, they made a road. So that's how they constructed a road there where my grandmother was living in the forest. And to that extent, my grandmother told me that even my grandfather was a good storyteller. So that's how I developed that talent of telling stories.
Okay. It is very, very, it's kind of a hijack, but her story makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? That how they came to create a road in the forest, and they came to be storytellers up to date, that the great-grandfather was and the grandmother was. Please, remind us your name and where you come from.
My name is Ahabwe Ana Abela. I come from Koloma Primary School, and if you want to come to my home, just come to Insiche Nyamtanga in Barra City South.
Okay. Thank you so much. Greet us, the people of Koloma. We shall be glad next time to host you. Thank you. A blessed evening. And of course, that is her, and she's very confident that at this level, she can tell us her details, where she comes from, create us stories that can interest all of us at this level. Thank you so much. And I will get back, of course, to the judge. The judge, the final man of the day. I'm seeing people with papers and here and there, but we are yet to tell the truth. Indeed, David, you could step forward and give us that last beat that hits the nail, and we see where to go direct. Thank you so much, David.
Thank you very much, Adonia, for having me. Right. The winner for the poetry category, you'll find out tomorrow. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. We're going for the finals of public speaking. The finals for public speaking. All right. Public speaking, finals task. Finals task. Persuasive speech. Someone say persuasive speech. You recently joined a movement that advocates for the rights of addicts. The movement slogan says, stop punishing addicts, hug them instead. Stop punishing addicts, hug them instead. You have been given a chance to speak to different individuals in Kawempe areas. Since you are a great speaker and passionate about the movement, can I have some silence? Task. Argue for rehab over prison. Use the stats as a base for your speech. Treatment cuts crime rates by 30%. Prisons breed despair. Use the stats, these stats, as the base for your speech. Treatment cuts crime rates by 30%. Prisons breed despair. I want to be very clear. It is not a must. It is not a must for you to begin your speech with this specific statement. However, if you do, it makes the speech better. Using these stats as the base simply means that in the introduction of your speech, whether you'll start by saying, ladies and gentlemen, those stats should be the foundation on which you develop your speech. Again, it's not a must for you to begin your speech with those words or the stats. But if you do, well and good. However, what we want is the base of your speech to have those statements. If you do not have, I will only say to my judges, park a dare. And for those of you that know what public speaking is for this tournament, park a dare has been the norm for us. Now, to the truth, the breaks. Here is the twist in public speaking. When we reached the semi-finals, the judges could not agree on the third person breaking to the finals. So all of us agreed that we should take 4 people from the semi-finals, the finals. So the finals will have 6 public speakers, unlike the 5 that we had mentioned previously. Now, in a very specific order, from the semi-finals, breaking in position first with an average score of 72 is none other than Arinda Miriam Bijera SS. Where is Miriam? Congratulations. Breaking second in a very particular order, average of 70, is none other than Kabandama Aida from St. Teresa Girls School. Breaking third and fourth position with an average of 67. With an average of 67. Both of them had an average of 67. We felt that all of them should go to the finals. We didn't want to cut all of them, but we did that because the fourth and the fifth had a very big divide between them. So the 2 people making it to the finals, we have, one is Nanyondo Rona from Chisubi Mapera Secondary School. And also making it to the finals is none other than Doris Amoti from Weranyanji Girls School. Okay, the mood is set, the stage is set. We're going to give our public speakers just 4 minutes to compose themselves. And this is the order that we're going to use for the finals. Oh, before I proceed, we have our 2 finalists that broke directly from the preliminary rounds. We had Nakawesa Hamira Kwagala from Kakungulu Memorial School. Where are you? Where are you? Okay. And we also had Kamira from Kakungulu Memorial School. Those broke directly from the preliminary rounds to the finals. The order of speech. We will start with Rona, Doris Amoti, Aida, Miriam, Kamira, and then Nakawesi. You now have 3 minutes to compose yourself as I invite Adonia to have some little says about public speaking, because I know he is a great public speaker. This man was a guild president. I know you won them by the power of speech. Over to you, sir. His Excellency, Emeritus.
Now, you won't get me, David. Thank you so much, David, for that. And as I said, of course, heading to public speech there, I'll be very courteous to understand how people get their words follow each other. Because with public speech, you must convince the people you're talking to that indeed whatever you're saying actually has sense, but also provides a solution to the problem at hand. So I'll be the 6th invisible judge at that, and I'll wait for the decision that will come from the judge's table. But, friends, I know our emotions are calm, and we wait maybe to see how our representatives are taking it on. And this gives us a picture of a real competition, that even when we have not made it to the finals, but still someone who has made it there, we must support them. We must congratulate them. But at most of it all, we must be ready to learn how do they do it differently. That is not only in debate, but all other spheres of life. If someone is better than you, how does he or she do it differently? And what can you do such that you can either be like them or even surpass them? But if you're not willing to learn from those that have maybe beaten you or won you in a round, that means, okay, your spirit of competition is not good, and I do not commend that at any one moment. So we are headed for this last round in today's sessions. We are going for the finals of public speech. Tomorrow, we shall have finals of debate all round through, junior and senior, as I said. Early in the morning, I am told at 8 we shall have those for junior, then breakfast, then also go for the senior debate rounds. And those shall usher us to the end of this whole tournament that we've had. And thank you so much, dear viewer and students, that have given it attention to always be with us and view and learn from these rounds. I think it is at this moment that I will not waste any other single minute, but I will invite and welcome our lead judge that is taking us to the final of a public speech, and that shall call off the rest of the activities that we've had today and wait for tomorrow. David, I welcome you and thank you so much for the work you are doing and your team.
All right, thank you very much, Adonia. At this particular point, I want to clarify something. We are using 4 minutes. 4 minutes. 4 minutes of speech. Please and please give us a reason why you should win this year's, the first of its kind, public speaking category, TDN Nationals. We will have Rona from Chisumi Mandera. You come, tell us your name, any shout outs you want to give, and then you can start your speech.
My name is Nanyondorona from Suimapera Secondary School in Ntale. I'd like to thank my patron from Suimapera, our head teacher, and our judges for giving me this chance. And now for my speech. I believe that there is, There is a second chance for everything. My name is Nanyondorena. My name is Nanyondorena, a member of the Drugs Apana Movement Kawempe Division. I'm sorry.
Okay, let us have the second speaker come and give us a speech. Please go and compose yourself, then you come back. Please. Yes. Second speaker, please get on stage. So all of you are not ready? Okay, we are going to start at 20. You have 6 minutes to compose yourself. Then we'll start with Rona again. Please compose yourself. It seems this is the finals. Let us give our best. You have 6 minutes to compose yourself.
And I can be hired.
Yes, you can. You can hire him to. No, you can't be hired.
And I can be hired for the team that feels that they need an extra effort. We are here to help out. But that is a real feel of what a final is. And if you have a final that doesn't have such experiences, then I have a right to doubt that final. But a young lady that is there, please don't feel that it is the end. No. Actually, it is a starting point for you to be better and a better speaker, because it becomes a memorable time for you. I applaud the judges that have given our speakers some time to compose, some time to gather ourselves to understand what indeed we need to tackle as far as public speech is concerned. It's on record that people that move the world are public speakers. If you want to move the world, maybe even if you are the best academician, but you cannot have the capacity to speak and present what you have to present, then you're not going to succeed. So it means a lot for you to have the skill of public speech, because it runs hand in hand with influence. If you can speak, you can influence masses. That is what we are doing here, and we give this platform to all the students to learn and be able to come up with such skills. Yes. Therefore, we have seen what has happened, and it's a real feel of what a final of public speech is. If I had someone that did poetry, I would call them to give me maybe a recap, or maybe a general perspective of how they view or how they saw this whole final thing of poetry. But now that they have gone to refreshing, I will also now invite my sister. I'll invite my sister to come forward. She's the head girl, that's what I know. And of course, with her being the head girl, she knows something on public speech. So she's going to step forward in assumption that she's not been given a topic. Can she address this whole gathering? Good evening, head girl.
Good evening.
How are you doing?
Cool.
In 1 minute, please, feel free to tackle any topic of your choice, not the theme, but any topic, and be a public speaker in just 1 minute. This whole gathering is yours.
Thank you. I'm going to talk about friends. Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot live in the world where you have no love, no friend, because you are ever discouraged. I know many people are there, lonely because they are not getting teamwork with their friends, the schools that you had, but during the term, you have friends. To be a debater, to be a head girl and stand on a post, I had friends. All the 613 votes that I got, it was from friends. You cannot do anything without a friend. My friends, teachers, and all that I found here, Thank you, the judges, because you make us proud. Parents, everyone, you have a friend because you cannot live without love. Thank you.
Hey, don't be jealous. A round of applause to her. Thank you so much. I saw some judge rating. I don't know if you would maybe get some marks, but thank you so much for that composition. I know it was abrupt, but indeed, you are a head girl. I wish you all the best in your next, maybe, leadership positions. Yes, that is public speech, and you wonder if she was given a topic, how would she perform? Let's wait and see. And now it is the time we are going back to the judges, and they are calling upon, please, be composed. These are the people you've met at dining tables just here. Judges are people also you've met in other rounds. Be composed because it is you and you've not changed whatever you're going to say. Don't feel that it has to come from any other planet. No. Be composed and give us your best that you can for this evening. David, do you mind getting back to arts and maybe you tell us what do you expect from these people such that we do not have such cases again of people being nervous. And maybe we think that the judge is expecting some English from another planet, yet we do not. And maybe that's why we are getting nervous.
Well,
what do you expect out of us?
Well, before I tell you what I expect, whoever is near Chewalianga Henry, the judge for the finals, please tell him he's needed for the finals right about now. But secondly, before I tell you what I expect from this particular round, I think it is important for us to know that, one, it is very normal to be afraid. It is very normal to feel uncomfortable before a crowd. It is very, very normal for you not to give your best. It's always normal. Adonia was not this perfect. I was never this perfect. Those that saw me in 2018, I was a very small boy, very short, and I couldn't speak properly. But what has happened ever since? I had to put those voices, the screams behind your back that tell you you cannot do it. You put them at the back. You pocket them and you stand tall. The one psychological trick I use every time I am scared is that whenever I am on stage and I look at the audience and my heart beats and I am scared, I tell myself, the reason as to why I am scared is because whatsoever I am about to say is needed, is the best, and everyone wants to listen to it. It is waiting to be released, and that is why my heart is beating. Every time I tell that to myself, I get comfortable. I know what I'm supposed to do, what I'm going to do, and even if it is not the best, it is okay. As long as you do your best, as long as you give it your all, that is enough. So that is the small word I have for us all. And Adonia, as I'm going to sit down, we are going to start. So tell them something beautiful that will make them also believe.
Thank you so much, David. The power of speech, of course, is unmeasured. And I would encourage us, don't just think that whatever you're going to say is for paperwork and that people expect special and unique words from you. But be composed, because what you have in your mind we do not know, and you never know it can be the source of your victory. So be composed and know that you have the best speech that you're going to present to us this evening. Thank you so much. I get back to you, David, and may all participants do it well, and may the best participant win. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We are going to have Rona, and as she's getting on stage, please not to be persuasive, but also to use the statement, treatment cuts crime rates by 30%. Prisons breed despair. That statement should be in the introduction, the base of your speech. You don't need to start with it, but we need to hear it as you build up your speech from the onset. Over to you, Rona, and all the best. Audience, I require your maximum attention, and I do not want us to be murmuring. Thank you very much.
I believe in a godly world. I believe in a drug-free environment. And I believe that people can change. My name is Nanyondorena, a member from the Drug Apana movement in Kawempe Division. Members of Kawempe have recently had a raid on the streets of Kawempe where police arrested over 45 people for who are using drugs on the streets. However, instead of sending them to prisons, instead of sending them to rehabilitations, they were sent to prisons. However, I believe that treatment fights crime rate while prisons breed 30% despair. Ladies and gentlemen, instead of sending drug addicts to prisons, they should be sent to rehabilitation centers. Sending 10 to 15% of drug offenders to rehab instead of jail can save a big sum of money to the country annually. And 71% of released prisoners face rearrest within 5 years. Ladies and gentlemen, what does this reflect? It shows that people who are sent to prison do not recover from drug, but instead come out with more poor habits that send them to prisons within less than 5 years. 44% return to prisons even after 1 year. Ladies and gentlemen of Kawempe Division, this shows that recovering rehabilitation centers can be a solution instead of sending people to jail. Rehabilitation centers, in one way or another, help recover the mental state, which helps people recover forever. Instead, prisons breed bad habits. That's why people go back to prisons within less than 5 years. Prisons harbor a lot of criminals, not only drug addicts, but also criminals, for example, those that do murder, theft and all that. So for example, if a person goes in for drug abuse, they can come out with very other habits like murder and theft. This is why very many of those that go to prisons and come out go back within less than a year. Ladies and gentlemen, let's advocate for rehabilitation over prisons, and this will save our division. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rona, for that wonderful speech. I have just realized that there is no boy in the finals. But it is okay. The panel has 4 men and 1 lady. All will be well. Yes. Let us have Doris Amoti to give us her speech. If you're clapping, please clap. Yes. Where is Doris Amoti?
My name is Ishemelire Doris Amoti from Branyanji Girls Senior School. I'm very happy to be here and very grateful, and I hope to do my best in this. Yeah. Abantu ba Kawempe Jemuri. I have just said that people of Kawempe, how are you? Thank you so much. Yeah, my name is Shemelire Doris Amoti, and I am a psychiatrist by profession, but I'm also a youth advocate for the rights of addicts at Let's Love Addicts Organization, Uganda. Treatment cuts crime rates by 30% and prisons breed despair. What do I mean by this? It means that treatment is better treating people is actually better than taking them to prisons. I have a question. What do you think we should do for the people that have made mistakes in life? Don't they deserve a second chance? I believe that they deserve a second chance. Let's think through this carefully. Prisons. When someone makes a mistake in Uganda, they are taken to prisons. And what happens in prisons? They just sit there with no life skills, no tools at all. They keep them locked up, and this promotes idleness. But that does not help us as a country. This does not help us as Kawempe. This does not help us as Ugandans. Imagine this story. You are 20 years old, and maybe you have been using drugs, and somehow, somewhere, it has affected your mind, and you start to fight and cause commotion here and there. And so you're taken to prison for 20 years. At 40 years, you come out of prison. You have no money. You have no skills. The world that you left 20 years ago has now changed. You do not know anything. Maybe perhaps your parents, your family has forgotten you out there. And you come in this world. You will become a nuisance automatically. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that we should prioritize rehabs. Instead of people being taken to prisons, instead of people being locked up in those cells, they should actually be taken to rehabs. Why? Because rehabs help them to cope up with anger. Rehabs help them to be guided. Not just to be locked up, no. Rehabs are better. I know right here, I know that in here we have leaders. In 2016, you leaders passed a policy that criminalizes drug addicts. But that policy does not work. Why? Because it is not helping us as Uganda. If you were to take people for prisons, I have a better idea. Why not take them for rehabs instead? Because rehabs help us as a country. They help them become themselves. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that rehabs are very better places to live in. And so let us support our people. Let us support drug addicts instead of fighting them, instead of looking at them as if they are not people, as if they are animals. They need our help. They need to be hugged. And so Kawempe, people of Kawempe in this room, let's make Kawempe a better place to live in. Thank you.
Right. People of Kawempe, I hope you have heard. Let us have Ida to give us why she deserves to win this year's TDN. Ida, over to you. Ida.
Thank you very much. My name is Kabundama Aida from St. Teresa Girls SS Kasese. Members of Kawempe, political leaders, religious leaders, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine a life where you're punished and you're not made to understand the crime you have committed. And then the life where you are made a person better by making you understand the crime you have made. Where you are told the ways of living the crime you're making and the dangers of the crime you have made. My name is Ida, and I'm here representing a movement that believes in second chances, compassion, and smart solutions. Our slogan is simple and powerful: stop punishing addicts, instead hug them. Today, I urge you to support rehabilitation over prison for people struggling with addiction. But why? Because treatment works, but prison doesn't. Studies show that rehab cuts crime rates by 30%. 30%. When addicts receive medical help, when they are made better people, when they are advised on what to do, when they understand the crimes they committed, when they understand how they can heal from drug addiction, we believe they can reconnect their lives. Than punishing them in prisons where they're going to be isolated, where they're going to suffer, where they're going to access these drugs in these cells, where they're going to be locked. Remember, an idle mind is the devil's workshop. When these people are idle, they have a lot of thoughts. They are thinking about a lot of things. At some point, they're even angry at the people who imprisoned them. And do you believe they're going to change? Do you believe with the anchor they have, they're going to change from addiction to becoming better people? This is why our slogan says, stop punishing addicts, but instead hug them. And how are we hugging them? We are going to improve our rehab centers because we feel rehabilitation is better than punishing them in the prisons where they are locked. Members of community, these people, these addicts are locked in prisons. They are not even educated in these prisons, but they are just locked for isolation. And we claim they are being isolated because we don't want them to spoil the rest of the people. But remember, they are going to come out of these cells. They will be angry. They are still going to commit their crimes because they have not yet understood why they are being in these cells. Now, imagine the impact if we invested in rehabilitation, not just cells. If we gave addicts a chance to be treated like human beings, not criminals, we would see safer streets, stronger families, and healthier futures. To the people of Kawempe, I say, let's build a society that helps people rise, not fall in prisons. Let's educate our drug addicts about how they can recover from drug addiction than punishing them in the cells. Let's choose rehabilitation over imprisonment. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Aida. I hope the speech helps you to win. Let us have Arinda Miriam with her speech.
Hello, everyone. My name is Arinda Miriam from Bijera Secondary School. Reveal the shattered dreams of addicts. Hug an addict. Hello, Kawempe residents. I welcome you all in your perspective capacities. My name is Arinda Miriam, an addict in recovery. I recently joined a movement with a message so radical, so threatening to the status quo. It fits on a bumper sticker. Stop punishing addicts. Hug them instead. Shocking? I know. affection over incarceration, madness. But here's something so shocking. Treatment cuts crime rates by 30%. Prison breed despair. It cuts nothing but hope. Every year, thousands of people struggling with addiction are tossed behind bars, including I myself, who was tossed behind bars, not because I was a criminal, but because I was sick. Would you jail someone for having cancer? Would you jail someone for having cancer? Then why addiction that can be managed and overcome? And then, what does prison offer? A place where withdrawal is held, support is non-existent, and relapse is practically generated the moment the cell door opens. It does not solve problems. It warehouses it, punishes it, and eventually buries it. I remember when I was caught using one stick of oils and taken to the jail 4 years back. I found other addicts of my character. One stick of oils turned into bundles. So prison doesn't really solve this problem of addiction. But treatment, real evidence-based treatment saves lives and reduces crime. One study after the other showed this. A person who goes for rehab is 30% less likely to reoffend. Why? Because he or she gets what he or she needs: counseling, guidance, medical care. Through therapy sessions and sensitization, an addict comes to know that addiction is something that can be managed and overcome. The truth is, punishment doesn't make people sober. It just makes them afraid. But rehab gives them a chance to heal. We can't keep throwing addicts into prison and call it justice. It's despair with a barcode. It's expensive, infective, and cruel. So when someone asks me why I joined this movement, why I am appealing to this slogan, I say every addict has a chance to gain his or her dream again through these sessions.
Right. Thank you very much, Miriam, for that wonderful speech. We are going to have Kamira Babujire from Kakungulu Memorial School to give us a speech.
My name is Kamira Babujire, a student from Kakungulu Memorial School in Chibuli, Kampala. Treatment cuts crime rates by 30%. Prison breeds despair. Do you believe in change? 2018 was the year I lost both my parents in a car accident. With so much stress on my head, my bones were put down to only one solution, having grown in these slums of Kawempe. My blood grew cold, and the only thing I could depend on was cocaine and alcohol. So, then I could calm down the grief I was going through. Yeah, things began good. Until I was arrested and taken to Luzira, charged for drug addiction and drug distribution. My brain was bursting slowly in the cage I was put in, only surrounded by the walls and the suicidal thoughts in my mind telling me, why don't you end your life? When are you leaving? But guess what? Because I was put in a society filled with criminals, they were the murderers. They were the thieves. They were drug addicts just like me. What should I learn from? I borrowed an idea, a habit. If you've watched Money Heist, then you can tell what I'm talking about. I could act the best character in there. I developed a habit, theft. 2019, because I was a kid, I was released. Oppenham, my auntie, who is a professional nurse, took me in. Not even waiting to listen to what I had to say, she dragged me to rehabilitation. Oh my God, the first week was boring, but the second one, my eyes were actually open to see that I would have become the camera that is speaking in front of you, a speaker for the rehabilitation center and movement of Kawempe today that has converged here at the slums where I came from. Treatment cuts crime rates by 30%. Prison breeds despair. The girl who went into prison as an addict came out with another habit of theft. Is that acceptable? I went in as at least somebody that could be changed, but I came out as somebody that is not spoken about. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that in these crowds, they are addicts. There are also people that are trying to face this problem I went through. But through rehabilitation, I went through sessions. They first carried out assessment. They studied the drug I was taking in, and they found a detoxifant to help me stop signs and symptoms of drug abuse and addiction. Slowly by slowly, I got sensitized about the dangers of what I was putting into myself. I got the knowledge and I obtained and actually chose not to go that way. Because you are addicted to something, because you have gotten addicted to a drug, does not mean that you have lost your rights as a human. You haven't lost the right to education, to understand, to accept and understand something, and get a chance to choose to actually do the right thing. To get knowledge, to understand, to actually accept and feel, to accept and write a new story you want yourself to be. I wouldn't have become who I was by being in a prison cell, being haunted by the memory of my mother holding me at night. I chose rehabilitation. Well, I never wanted to go there, but I can testify it was the best experience I shall ever have on earth. Addicts are not animals. They also deserve a chance. If at all everyone that had an addiction was to be put in prison, even those addicted to sugar would be in jail. Ladies and gentlemen, I pose to you a question. Aren't you addicted to something? And if that something is your weakness, would you rather be punished for it? Or would you rather be shown how to face it?
Would you rather be punished for it? Or would you rather they show you how to face it? The pressure is getting, the pressure is too much. It's just like the pressure the Arsenal fans have on beating PSG tomorrow to qualify for finals. But we know the truth as an Arsenal fan, all hope is lost. But that is a story for another day. Let us have Kawesa Amira from Kakungulu Memorial, the last speaker for the night.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace to you all. My name is Nakawesa Amira, a proud student from Kakungulu Memorial School. I'd like to give shout-outs to my mother, our dear head teacher, our patron for the debate club, Kakungulu Memorial, for it is with their efforts that we have made it here today. Addiction is a mental disease, not a character flaw. Let me say, if at all you're in the audience and everything that has happened in your life today and all the past of your life has been your decision to make, please raise your hand. We want to know. No one. Absolutely no one. Today, good people of Kawempe, I am a proud drug addict rights activist from the Life After Addiction movement. And I am here to tell you about how treatment cuts crime rates by 30% and prison breeds despair. So, to you a question. If at all you had a child and this child pooped in their pants, would you beat them? No. Of course you'd actually help them, show them where the toilets are, right? You'd show them how to use the toilets, how to not poo in their pants, and you would get them, clean them, and actually reform them into something better. That they would know that pooping in their pants is a wrong thing. You show them the right thing to do. Now that is exactly what rehabilitation does to the drug addicts. I want to talk to you about the prisons. We realize that 60% of our people here in Kawempe are drug addicts because of the many slum areas, but 55% of them are actually family heads. So, if at all you're in prison, who is going to take care of these of their families for the period of 15 to 25 years as they are going to be in prison? You're just leaving the children to street exposure and the mother to overworking, stress, and theft just so that she can actually satisfy her needs and the children's needs. But then, if at all she gets overwhelmed, you realize that, of course, she'll resort to drugs. And children, their case is simple. They take after what they see their parents doing. So, you steal, I steal. You drug, I drug. That is the children. So, as to talk about these prisons, we realize that 20 to 45% of the people in prisons actually use drugs. They highly use the drugs. So, you're taking a drug addict to a drug market. That is if you take a drug addict to prison. You're taking them to a drug market and you expect them to stand still? No. Of course, they'll want to buy and eat some drugs, right? And at times they fail to control themselves, so they overdose themselves. In cases, they die. At times because of the isolation, they get the hopelessness, the very deep thoughts, and at times they kill themselves. I want you to realize today that not that addiction is something that people decide to do, but at times it just comes about. We can help these people through the rehabilitation centers. The rehabilitation centers are actually going to help these people. They welcome these people, detoxify them, cleanse them, counsel them, and give them all the love and hope that they need to know and also have high hopes and ideas for the life after the addiction. At times, if at all they stole from you, they could even return the thing they stole. Or maybe a while after them working from their rehab, they could even pay you. So it's a win-win, right? But okay. I want to live here when I know that you people have realized that treatment cuts crime rates by 30% and imprisonment breeds despair. Okay. I will end with this. Together, let's stop punishing the drug addicts and hug them.
A bigger round of applause for our public speakers. We have come to the end of our finals, public speaking. You will know the winner tomorrow when we are announcing the winners. But if you want to know the winners, wait until tomorrow. Thank you very much. Over to you, Adonia.
It's like saying Arsenal will win anyway. That is for David. That is for David. Thank you so much, judges. Thank you so much, dear public speakers. And most importantly, the people and students that have been here with us from the time we started today's schedule up to now. And remember that tomorrow is more interesting. Tomorrow comes with better deals. Tomorrow comes with so much interesting deals that we shall announce, for example, who has won in public speech, who has won in poetry. We shall be watching who has won storytelling, and of course, news anchoring, who is going to be the champion of this year's National Debate Championship. Without forgetting that we have two major events tomorrow. We have the finals of the junior section, where we have finals of primary schools. You need to understand and know which primary school has gone for the final. Please, if you want to know that, tomorrow be here with us. And of course, the senior debate championship. We shall be having secondary schools, and we get to understand who qualifies or who has moved to the next extent of the finals. We understand the two schools that are going to be tussling it out at the finals of this year's edition, the National Debate Championship. That is being organized by TDN, Teachers Debate Network Uganda. Without wasting any other time, I want to thank you so much for being with us from the time we started, that you've not left us and you've followed this round, you've followed these rounds, you've seen the speakers, you've seen the storytellers, the news anchors, and all this is coming live, of course, from Ntale School as this debate, National Debate Championship, which is being organized by Teachers Debate Network Uganda. And of course, Revival TV says we are here to bring you this the comfort of your room, the comfort of your business, and the comfort of the place that you feel you can watch and follow us. Please don't leave us. Tomorrow, it is a final round, a final day for these debates, from these debate nationals that we have come with today. And see you again. May God bless you. It is me going to get back to you tomorrow. I am Adonia. May God bless you, and blessed night.
Revival TV, amagarum wijwire.